gonna show you a little trick. I use a lot of reclaimed lumber, and so I got a nail hole right here that's true. You can see standing around the hole. And I'm gonna put a plug in here from another piece of wood. And so what I start off with on the drill press, I use a Forstner bit. Here's what they look like up close. So it's got a little spade in the middle that helps track that hole. This is already open up. You're really not gonna be able to use that part of it. So what we're gonna do is we clamp it down. So what I do, I got the right bit in here already, and I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna center my hole where I want it, and I'm gonna lock the quill so I can hold that into alignment. And then I'm gonna put clamps on here on the table and against my fence to keep this piece from moving. These bits really don't generate that much torque, but I'm in a situation here where if I start cutting that hole and then it starts wandering around, it'll make it so it's not round, and then this little trick won't work. So start up the mill. Turn it down a little bit. You see with my arm? I'm just gonna go down a little bit. I just want to have enough area that I can create a plug, stick in that hole. So I'm just gonna go down right to the top of the bit, and that should be enough. I'm not trying to go all the way through it. Okay, so I'm gonna move that material out of the way. So I got a nice round hole there, nothing in it. Okay, I got a set of these. These are Harbor Freight. They're dirt cheap. I like maybe $6 for a set. So what it does, it has this diameter here, and it'll cut a plug out of the material. As it cuts down, the plug will migrate through this center of this bore here, and then when you drill all the way through it, you have a captive plug, and you can pound it back out, and it'll be perfectly round. So I measured the side of this hole with a micrometer, and then I found a Forstner bit that fits. It needs to be a little bit smaller than this diameter, and you have to do some tests on some stock. Look for similar diameters on these two. All right, now next thing you do is you get a piece of scrap that's roughly the same complexion as your workpiece. You can see this one's a little too light. The grain's about the same, but this board here has pretty close to the same complexion, a little bit different grain pattern. So what I'm gonna do is cut a plug out of this guy, and then I'll dress the plug down and stick it in this hole. Okay, look at that. That plug's sticking in that hole. So I'm gonna pound that out with this screwdriver. You don't have to get crazy with it, just pry it out. Push it down, there you go. So that's it, that's my plug. So I'm gonna go to the sander, and I'm gonna take just a little bit of material off and try to put a pretty gentle taper on this, just so that it fits back in the hole for my workpiece. Okay, so like I said, these plugs, it cuts them out and they put them in a little bit of compression. Sometimes it compacts the material, so it'll be, in this case, I think this is the side I started on. It's truncated, so this is a little smaller than this size. So I'm just gonna test fit it in this hole here, and it practically fits just on its own. You can see I can stick it in that hole. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to dress some of these ragged edges up so I can sit it down there as far as I can. And that's all I'm gonna really do for this one because it fits pretty nice. I'm just going to dry fit this back in. Okay, you can see it fits, so I'm going to be able to pack that in there real quick. So I'm going to stick some glue in the hole and right here and pound that in. It'll be standing proud. We'll sand it down later. All right, so I'm gonna line the grain up so the grain's facing in the same direction as your workpiece. It's kind of important for it to be almost invisible. Kind of get it started with your finger, give it a tap. You can see when the tone changes, you know you're finished because you're bottomed out in the hole. Okay, wipe up that squeeze out. Okay, I got the squeeze out off. I'm gonna go to the bandsaw, cut that guy down as close as I can get it without touching the workpiece. Then I'll sand the rest of the way. You don't even have to let the glue dry because this plug is compressed into that hole, so it's not going anywhere. Okay, I'm just gonna sand this down flush. Okay, now look at that. You can't see the hole, so if this black rust stain wasn't here, that would be basically invisible, and you cannot feel it either. So anyway, this is a way that if you have some kind of defect, or if you screw up or put a screw somewhere and you need to fix it, you can drill it out and just stick a plug in there. it'll be fine. Also, if you have an open hole, it could start to propagate a crack. And so when you glue this around, it bonds that area and it helps to stabilize it. And so that's another reason why this is a good idea. But yeah, you can see, works out pretty good.